Alright guys, welcome to day 5 of the 90 days to 1 million Naira challenge. Today we'll be looking at how you can start creating your product. Remember yesterday we talked about how you can go about understanding your competitors, knowing your competitors. You want to know who you are getting into bed with. The reason why you want to know who you are competing with is for you to understand how they have been approaching the market and how you can do it better. Alright, so in that process you want to make sure that your product is better, your offer is better, your angles are better, and all of that. Okay, that's the reason why you really want to know who your competitors are and know what they are doing. Alright, so in this video we're looking at how you can start developing the contents of your product. Alright, so doing that, one of the things that you need to decide is who are you going to be when you create this product. Are you going to be a female or you're male? Right, you need to understand that it's very legal that you want to have a pen name. It's legal for you to be whoever you want to be. When you try to put out content out there, it's very fine if you say you don't want to put out your name out there. For instance, this product I'll be developing, I'm not going to use my name. All right, so I'm going to be using a pen name. So it's very fine if you want to use a pen name, but what it's not advisable you do is you saying that you are a medical doctor providing medical advice when you're really not a medical doctor, or you're saying that you are a lawyer, a barrister, and providing legal advice when you're not really a barrister or a legal practitioner. All right, that is when it's illegal. All right, but it's very legal if you want to use a pen name. You want to say, for instance, I'm Jonathan, I can say I want to use Joseph. All right, for instance, I'm male and I can say I want to use the female gender as my persona, right, trying to portray myself out there, and that's very fine. So you can decide who you want to use as your persona. For instance, I'm going to be using the male persona because of course ideally it's very logical to say you want to, as a female, you want to receive advice from a male when you really want to understand the males. Okay, it's very, very proper if you want to listen to males better. I think that is even the best way to get advice, to know how to go about getting a man and getting him to propose. So from your own niche, you need to understand what works better. For instance, say you want to develop a product that caters to women who wants to lose belly fat. Who do you think you should use? Are you going to use male or female? Of course you should use a female, right? So you want to really understand your audience. So finding how do you go about developing the content for your products. You need to develop the table of content. That's the first point you need to start from, right? So how do you go about all of this? You need to make use of Amazon, ClickBank, and Google. And then of course, how do you go together putting your content together? I think I omitted you here, but I believe you really understand what that is. This is putting your content together. So how do you go about doing that? So you can do it yourself. You can use private label right content. Okay, you can use ghostwriting. Doing it yourself meaning you have to go through the research, understanding the audience, which you've been doing, right? Then bringing contents from here and then putting it together to form your own content, right? That is you doing it yourself. Then PLRO, that's private label rights content, meaning you have to get the content that someone has written, that someone has gone through the pain of putting all of this together, and then you can dive into it. But when you use private label rights, you want to make sure that you edit it as well, because a lot of people will be having access to such content. So you want to make sure that it is unique. All right, you don't want 1,000 persons having same access to same content, right? So ghostwriting, you can pay someone to do it for you. All right, so deciding the format that you want your product to be in. Now we've researched our whole niche and we saw that we have lots of ebooks and audios. So for me, I'm going to make sure that I provide an ebook and an audio product. Okay, so it's going to be in ebook and an audio format, and you can decide to have your own product in video format, webinar format, live events, depending on what your niche really, resonates with. Okay, and then of course, developing your content, you have to look at similar books, which we've talked about, similar content, right? So what we are going to do right now is, first we are going to go into Amazon and look at similar books, and of course we want to develop all of our contents from there. All right, so let's go into Amazon. So here we'll go to amazon.com. Okay, so let's search something like single to married, single to married. All right, single, dating, engaged, married, single, dating, engaged, married, navigating life and love. Okay, let me just open this. Yeah, Lord, I'm ready to be a wife. Okay, what's it like to be married to me? How to lead when you are not in charge. How I went from single to how I went from 45 and single to 45 and married. Okay, we want to even see that was in there. Becoming the woman who wants to be, who God wants me to be. All right. Married to a single man. Getting married for Christ's sake. Fuck him. Nice guys always finish single. Aha, this looks cool. So this is a guide to sexy women who want to get back in control of their love life. So we can look into this as well. Okay, let's just I see something right there. I would like to look at it. So from single to not, something like that. From single to the not, how to make the not worth fighting. Doesn't look appealing. Never chase men again. I like this one. Welcome to adulting. All right, so let's look at the pursuit of a lasting marriage, from me to we. What women want to know. We're talking about women here. I didn't work this hard just to get married. The 7 principles for making marriage work. No. Okay, so I think let's use a different sex term. Let's say dating for women. So you are going to use this search terms, keywords relating to your niche, what you want to provide, of course, right? So this we have the Tower of Dating, the Smart Woman's Guide to Being Absolutely Irresistible. I like that. Test so good he can't ignore. We can, let's just look at that. Men don't love women like you. Okay, let's look at that as well. How to get a man without getting played. Trusty, we've seen all of this before. The power of the pussy. Why men love bitches. I love this one. Alright, so let's look into the different ones that we've opened up. This one says Single, dating, engagement rate, and living life and love in the modern age. So what you want to do is look at the paperback. If it's not on the paperback, you just click on paperback. All right. So once you have it on the paperback, you want to look inside. Okay, so if we look inside, we'll be able to see the table of content. So it says first thing first, God, guys and girls. I like that. So I can even start my own content with God, girls and guys. Interesting. This is cool. Then single devotion, the purpose of singleness, who to date, how to date, sex, a dating case study, how to know that you know becoming the one. All right, so this is a lot that you can do. We'll come into the next one. How I went from 45 and single to 45 and married. And we can look inside. Make sure you're always on paperback. We can look inside. From here we can check out the table of contents. Okay, be honest with yourself, meet God right where you are. So you want to look at all of these and look at as many as you want. All right, make sure you have it on paperback so that you can look into or look inside the book. All right, you won't be able to see everything there, but it's a preview. All right, it's a preview of the product. The idea is to get the table of contents. Why should you fuck him? Why men find the good girl or the nice girl repelling? The high value woman never plays games. Mental fucking. Why do women fall for bad boys? It's he playing games with me. All right, so this is a lot of nice contents right here. So we use all of these 30 40 content to develop our own table of content. All right, so I'm going to, for instance, if the counterintuitive way to getting to do whatever you want. So I can now, remember we said one of the ways to do that is Google, right? So I can go on Google and say the counterintuitive way to get him to do whatever you want. So I can say and search for Google the counterintuitive way to get him to do whatever you want. All right. How to make a man do anything you want. So you're going to see a lot of content, and from this you look into them. All right, you want to open them up, and from there you develop the content of your book. Right, that's how you develop the table of contents that you have written out. Okay, that's the way you now start putting contents together. You need to understand that your book must not be 100 pages, 200 pages, 500 pages for it to be valuable. I've said this before. All right, your book can even be 3 pages, 20 pages, 10 pages, as long as it passes the message, as long as it provides that value, provide what people want. People will still pay for it. Okay, it's not about the volume of the content, but it's about the quality of the content that you're about putting out there. Hope you guys understand. All right, so you want to do this. Okay, look at what really paperback, look at what really resonates with you. Okay, so you want to look at the different content, the table of content, and see the one that really resonates with you, and use that to develop your own table of content. And then you want to search on Google to build on your content. So you look at different articles and build on your content. Remember we said, so this is how you do it yourself, and we said you can of course use PLRO sites. Okay, so there's this site that I am subscribed to, IDPLRO. Okay, so it's a PLR site, private label rights, meaning you have the rights to have a different name on the product. Okay, but then I don't advise that you just see a product here and just slam your name on it, but rather you want to develop on the content. So let me log in on this site. So this is one of the sites that I use. Okay, I paid for it. It's not free. You have some free contents, but really good contents, they are paid. Okay, so if I say dating for women, all right, so top dating tips for women. So here you can see some books, PLRO, private label rights ebook 2019, 10 tips for successful first date, a book, whatever that is, Mr. Right. So all of these will help you to build the content of your book. All right, this is how you make use of PLRO. Don't just get the book and just put your name on it, but you want to develop on the content and make it unique, peculiar, all right, to you. That's very important. That is very important. All right, so we looked at ghostwriting. Ghostwriting means you want to have someone to write it for you. So you can say you want to go to a place like Fiverr.com. Fiverr is not the only place you can do that, by the way. All right, there is Upwork, all right, and all the sites. So either Fiverr or Upwork, you want to just find the person who can help you write your content. If you can do it yourself, if you can use PLR sites, if you can research yourself, if you need someone to just do the whole thing for you, all right, so you can just come here and look for the service you want. So say content writing. Let's just search that term and see what comes up. All right, so I will write SEO, I will write businessman, I will write content on whatever that is. I will write edit, optimize. I will write narrative Spanish. Okay, so let's book content. Let's see. I will proofread and revise your book. Okay, I'll give you a proofread. I'll write engaging content for your website, blog, book. So you can see, and it's starting at $15. $15 should be about 4,000 something, 5,000 naira, right? So you can have someone to start, writing engaging content for your book. I will make the edit, and so here you want to really dig deep. You just want to dig deep to see who can write the contents for your book. All right, another thing you can do is we said ClickBank. So you want to go to ClickBank. We have used ClickBank a lot. Let me just show you how to go about this. So for instance, you go into ClickBank. All right, let's go into the affiliate marketplace and go to self-help, and what we have here is his secret obsession. So you can say, come to Google and say his secret obsession, right? Review. So you want to search for reviews of products that you see on Amazon that you're looking at. Okay, so you want to see what people. Okay, so his secret obsession reviews. All right, so here you can see his secret obsession by James Barr. His secret obsession review. Does it work? His secret obsession. I read it for you. Full 2019. His secret obsession review. So you can see all of this, yeah. So we just have to dig deep into. It seems this is on Amazon. Interesting. Seems it's on Amazon. His secret obsession. how to make him yours, for women. His secret, how to make him yours for women. Act like a man. This is a very nice book. I think I have this book paperback even here at home, right? Ignore the guy, the art of no contact. Anyway, that's a different one. Okay, let's look at this one. So this one is even on so the same way paperback, you just look inside, and then secret obsession, just click on paperback, and should be able to look inside. So look inside, and so you're going to see the table of contents. So this is the table. We need to talk, the other words that make men run for cover. First things first, he wants to sleep with you. So this is how you start developing the content for your product. So here it says this is a review, kinda. What should you buy? I don't know what that is. It's not a proper review. So some review will give you a breakdown of what it all contains. So you can see table of content. Look at this now. It says table of content, secret obsession, who it is written for, weighing it out, final words. Okay, so here consequences, relationship material, the private island, the S-back signal, the claims face, the damsel in distress, I own you, silent action signal, and all that. Yeah, so that's how you start developing the content for your product. Okay, so like I said before, so I can come in here now and look at one of the table of content. I see that it's going to work from the kind of book I'm developing. So I can say men need you to be receptive. It's not that I don't like that. The number one quality a man looks for in his ideal. Okay, so I can say the number one quality a man looks for in his ideal wife. So if I want to develop my content around this topic now, remember this is chapter 5. Okay, so these are subtopics and all that. So you the number one quality a man looks for in his ideal woman. So I just come to Google and say the number one quality a man looks for in his ideal woman. Nice ideal woman, and I'm going to say a bunch of results. What men want, 6 qualities men look for in the ideal woman. What men want, 7 traits men look for in the lady of their dreams. If a man has this, top men wants in a woman. So this is how. So you're going to look at all of these articles and use what you learn from them to build the content around that topic, around that subtopic or whatever it is you're trying to build your content around. So that's how you start developing the content around your product. So I believe you're able to learn some things, and I hope you start developing the content around your product. All right, so that's it for this video. Bye.